who have given up such a significant time in their lives, mostly during their early years, 18 to 25, to serve their country and help ensure each one of you has the same liberties many take for granted today. The right of freedom of speech, the right to assemble and protest, simply the rights of life, liberty, and happiness. As an American, you get up and go to work, school, or other activity. For the most part, your schedule, you can schedule your life. You can decide to sleep in or go out during the weekend. The men and women here today, during the time they served at the discretion of their country. There were no guaranteed sick days, vacation days, or weekends per se, because at any time, whether in wartime or peace, they could be called upon to drill, practice, or pack up and go to a foreign land. They could be freezing in the middle of the Bavarian forest in January, or sweating in the desert, or working 24/7 because they were directed to do so. I thank you for taking the time to be with us today, and again, we thank you for your service. At this time, I would like to introduce our student council officers to lead us in the pledge, Ali Sapanero and Matthew Shell.
If you could please stand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers. Appointed over me. According to regulations. And the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact. But somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn, when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and born with their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will unite our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Good morning. My name is Anne Negrini. I teach social studies here at the middle school, and I am so happy that we were able to welcome all of our veterans back again this year. It was really unfortunate that last year, due to COVID, we were not able to gather. So this is like an extra special celebration. So happy Veterans Day to everyone who is here with us. I'm happy that we have so many students that are able to sit with their veterans. It's a special day. I say this every year, but it's true that we are very fortunate to be in a school district that really acknowledges Veterans Day the way that we do here in Oley. A lot of schools do not, and they have events after school or on the weekends that students don't get to participate in. So I feel very proud that we do this in the middle school and the elementary school as well. So happy Veterans Day to everybody who is able to join us. I'm going to start by reading the Presidential Proclamation, which was issued by President Joe Biden. For generations, millions of Americans have answered the call to serve, taking the sacred oath to defend and preserve our nation's ideals of liberty and democracy. These patriots represent the best of us. On Veterans Day, we honor their service, dedication, and valor, and are forever grateful for their sacrifice. Our nation has only one truly sacred obligation: to properly prepare and equip our service members when we send them into harm's way, and to care for them and their families when they return home. For our 19 million veterans, that means ensuring that they have access to the support and resources for a future of security, opportunity, and dignity. This is even more important as we continue to recover from the global COVID-19 pandemic. Our obligation to support our nation's veterans and their families is personal, and I remain committed to ensuring that every veteran receives the care and support that they have earned. So many of our veterans carry the scars from their service, both visible and invisible, and it is our nation's responsibility to help them heal. Fulfilling our nation's promise to our veterans and military families, caregivers, and survivors is not only a moral imperative, it is crucial to our national security and to maintaining the finest military the world has ever known. We are a nation that keeps our promises. That is why my administration is dedicated to a whole-of-government approach in responding to the needs of our veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors. On Veterans Day, we honor our nation's veterans who have given so much to protect our freedoms and the freedom of others around the globe. They represent the highest ideals of our country. While we can never fully repay the debt we owe to these heroes, we will honor their service and provide them the care and support they deserve. We also salute and show gratitude for all who ensure our armed forces remain strong, united, and unmatched. In respect and recognition of the contributions our veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors have made to the cause of peace and freedom around the world, the Congress has provided that November 11th of each year shall be set aside as a legal public holiday to honor our nation's brave veterans. I encourage all Americans to recognize the valor, courage, and sacrifice of our veterans through appropriate ceremonies and private prayers. Thank you. Before I call up my friend Mr. Brown from the American Legion to honor the 10 sixth graders who are the essay finalists, I just want to thank a few people that worked really hard today to make this all come together. I know people have been very kind to me, but there is a lot more going on behind the scenes. So I first want to recognize the ladies in the office. They were very diligently fielding phone calls and calling kids down and sending out emails and making sure everything ran smoothly behind the scenes. I also want to thank Mrs. Talone. Where's Mrs. Talone? There she is. Mrs. Talone very kindly took time out of her class to organize the essay contest and allow the 6th graders to write, and she read through the essays kind of like in a proofreading kind of way. So thank you so much, Mrs. Talone. And I also, of course, want to thank our custodians, Joey and Joanna, who worked very hard to make our building look so beautiful, and they set up the display in the front. So if you can just give them a round of applause. Now I'd like to call to the stage my friend, Mr. Carl Brown. He's from the Oley Legion. He is going to announce the 10 finalists, the 6th grade finalists for the essay contest. 3 of the 3 top winners will stay on the stage, and they will be reading their essays to you.
Thank you, Mrs. McGurney. My friend Bill Lutz, also the Oley American Legion, will be working with me to make these presentations. I want to congratulate the choir and the orchestra on the outstanding job they did putting the program together. The words that we heard are different for many of the veterans compared to you young people out there. I had the opportunity to fight in Vietnam. While I was there, we choppered out to an area and set up an LZ, and there's a little village, farm village, about half the size of Oley nearby. The next morning, when the sun came up, everybody from that village was outside our wire trying to give up because they were slaves, they were made prisoners, and they farmed for the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong. And when you have that kind of experience, the words in some of those songs come through different. Okay, enough of that. I'd like to introduce the members of the Oley American Legion. Several are here, please stand up. And I want to recognize them, and they'll be recognized individually later on. Just a little bit about the Oley American Legion. We're an organization that is 75 years old. We were started here in Oley after World War II. Some of the things that we do, and probably the most important thing we do, is we organize the Oley Memorial Day Parade. This is a parade to recognize those who were killed in active duty. Today it's a day to recognize all veterans, but Memorial Day is special because we recognize those who didn't come back. We place flags on 800 graves, over 800 graves, and Bill's kind of in charge of that here. Our honor guard on Memorial Day Sunday visits 7 cemeteries here in Oley, and you may not know it, but we have cemeteries here that have as many as 1920 people interned that fought in the Revolutionary War and died. We visit all these cemeteries and put flags on them, not all of them, but as many as we can, put flags on their graves. We sponsor Boy Scout Troop 569. We think Boy Scouting is very important to our area. We also make lunch bags for homeless. Every second Saturday of the month for the last 9 years, Bill here has organized our homeless lunch program where we make these sandwich bags up. We support, and they're passed out in Reading to people that are homeless or lack the opportunity to get a full meal. So they get 70 meals once a month that we put together for them. The organization supports veterans making a difference at Hope Rescue Mission, and we support this school here in your veterans program, and applaud you for doing such a good job. We support the Armed Forces Day Parade. We are in the process of building a walking trail around our Legion grounds. We award an Americanism Scholarship to a graduate of Oley High School every year. We attend the Oley Fair to meet other veterans and talk about some of the problems they have. We work with the Berks County Office of Veterans to release information about current activities and benefits. And I can go on and on about a number of things that the Old American Legion does, but I just wanted to introduce you to a few of those things. Now, the thing that you're interested in that we do is that we sponsor the essay contest. This year's topic was, can social media affect somebody's life? Was that a good topic? Certainly you can talk for a long time about it, can't you? And several of you did. Others were very brief. And we had 90 essays turned in. 90, which I think is very outstanding. The essays have to be 300 to 500 words. They have to be typewritten. They were scored on originality, extent and depth of information, the proper English structure, and accuracy. A group of 10 veterans read every one of those not every one of the 90, but read a number of the essays, and then we sat down and talked about the best ones, and out of those 90, we selected the top 10. We do believe that if you're going to take the time to write the essay, we're going to take the time to give you an award. And so the first place award is $125 for the winning essay. Second, $75, the third, $50. We want to thank the vets who helped evaluate this contest. And also want to mention to the winner that we plan to move your essay on to the regional contest and hopefully onto the state contest. So at this time, I'm going to start reading names alphabetically of our top 10 winners, and you'll have to excuse me as I stumble through a few of the names because they aren't all Smith and Jones. We'll start out with Owen Adakis. Is Owen here? Come on up. Sienna Andrews, come on up. Emma Byron, come on up, Emma. Autumn Diak. Dirac, how do you say that? Byron, okay. Julian Hauser. Okay. Does this look like a good group of students up here? Yep. Let's give them another round of applause. So I'm going to present honorable mention awards to the following people, and then we'll ask the three winners to have seats back here, and they're going to read their stories themselves. So, under honorable mention, Owen, come on out. Anna, honorable mention. Emma, honorable mention. Julian, honorable mention. Erwin, honorable mention. Lance, honorable mention. Not here, and Blake, honorable mention. place winner, and she's going to read her essay. Brianna.
Social media can affect someone's life negatively or positively. I think that because when we did not have social media, we would talk face to face and hide behind the screen all the time. We were also not as toxic. There is a lot of bad stuff going around, especially bad rumors. We were definitely more social when we did not have social media, but now that we do, we talk on a screen. Some people even feel more comfortable on a screen talking, texting, calling, and FaceTiming. Social media had a big impact on kids, adults. Going on generations, how do you think those kids will be/act with social media? Social media was made for communication. Users create online centers or communities to share ideas, messages, videos, and other content. In 2019, adult Americans use 72% of some form of social media. First social media site was invented in 1997. Social media changed people's lives by giving them money. Now, how did people get money from social media? They got money because some people did that as a job. Maybe they had, for example, a candle shop or bead shop, and they got it out to the world with social media. Negative and positive impacts. Back to the question, can social media affect someone's life? I think it can have an optimistic impact on some people with gaming sites, Snapchat, Instagram, and more. Snapchat, Instagram messages, and probably lots more help you communicate and talk with others, maybe build a relationship. Some others help you learn, enhance new skills, and like I said before, creating a career among other people. Social media gives you a lot of good opportunities. It gives you a choice to stay up to date with things around the world, or even with family and friends. You can also network with other people who share interests as you. Some people use social media networks to raise awareness on social media, or also start a club, job, etc. A lot of negative things happen on the internet too. Some negative things are theft, cyberbullying, and social isolation. Cyberbullying can affect some kids, adults, and teens' mental health. It could cause many mental disorders. Some people don't know how hurtful their words can be. Theft is another thing it takes a part of, from hacking into information you don't want strangers to know, or hacking into someone's account, and they might have a GoFundMe, which the theft can take the money out of. Also, social isolation is when you have a lack of social connections, which can lead to loneliness for some people. Social isolation can be the absence of social interactions, connections, and relationships with family, friends, or someone you're close to. Basically, the absence of meaningful relationships. Those are my main thoughts on if social media can change someone's life. My belief is yes, it can, in a positive and negative way.
Thank you, Brianna. Come on up. Come here, we have a plaque for you and also a check for $50. So. Okay, second place, Caitlin.
Social media affects us in many different ways, both good and bad. In today's world, many people rely on social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Snapchat. In fact, over 50% of the world uses social media. While social media was originally designed to bring people together, it can't replace face-to-face social connection. Communicating in person triggers your hormones to make you feel positive, happier, and healthier. On the other hand, social media can actually make you feel lonely, frustrated, and depressed. There are many other disadvantages of social media, including addiction, less family and friend interactions, hacking, cyberbullying, and lack of sleep. The excessive use of social media can lead to extreme addiction. This addiction cuts people off from the real world, so they don't spend time interacting with family and friends as much as they used to. Addiction also decreases physical activity that impacts your overall health. Connected with addiction, the use of social media day and night damages sleep cells and can leave the person restless. Lack of sleep can lead to poor concentration, memory problems, and ability to think. Hacking, an illegal activity that accesses the personal information of someone, may be the worst downside about social media. After a hacker hacks into someone's account, they usually blackmail the person by posting their information on social media for others to see, which puts their life in danger, or send spam messages to them and commit fraud. Either way, hacking is a problem that cannot be fixed easily. Although not as bad as hacking, cyberbullying is another major disadvantage of social media. Cyberbullies send, post, or share false, harmful, or negative information to cause discomfort to other people. This causes stress and anxiety to the person experiencing it and can even bring suicidal thoughts. Although social media has disadvantages, it also has its benefits. For instance, learning and research, building skills, and staying updated. Social media is a great place to learn. 50% of students say they increase their grades by discussing educational topics on social media. If used correctly, it can increase students' creative freedom and motivates them to work harder and engage more. With social media, people can build world skills that are essential in today's world. The ability to interact online and adapt to new technologies are skills highly valued today. These skills can help to get more modern technological jobs in the future. Social media can help you stay updated and involved with current events. Reading news is a good source of knowledge that helps you understand everything happening around the world, which can prepare you for more important events that may happen in the future. Social media plays a big part in many people's lives. People are so dependent on social media that it's hard for them to imagine living without it. From being connected worldwide to having online businesses, social media has tremendously affected our lives in both good and bad ways.
These young people practice this because it's hard to sit up here and read something even though you've written it. So, Caitlin, we'd like to present you with a check for $75 and also a nice plaque for recognizing I know you guys wouldn't believe it, but there's a few old guys in the American Legion, and we learned a lot about social media as a result of this. So. Okay, that only leaves one person, Autumn. Guess who it is? Congratulations.
Social media affects people's lives in many ways, both negative and positive. A way in which social media could be negative is by cyberbullying. Children that experience cyberbullying feel like they cannot escape their bully because the bully can reach them at home, school, and other places they go. You do not always know who their bully is or are afraid to report them. This causes kids to feel lonely. There are many positive ways social media can affect a person. A way social media can be positive is by socialization for physically and mentally challenged people. If people cannot leave the house, the internet and social media can help them stay connected with family, friends, and current events. Without social media for them, they would not be able to know what is happening outside their homes. Finally, they can participate in games and meet new people. Another positive way social media can impact someone's life is by online therapy. If someone is quarantined and they cannot really communicate with others very closely, so they may be able to do online therapy during quarantine if they feel lonely. People with health problems cannot go out very much either, so they could also see their doctor online if they feel sick or need a checkup. Lastly, social media is good for finding resources. For example, you can find veterans services or information about benefits by just looking on social media. Another helpful thing you could find are links for good products and getting reviews from people who have had past experience with what you're looking for. In conclusion, there are both positive and negative ways social media can affect someone's life. What this essay proves is that social media is mostly used for more good purposes than bad. In a world where you can be anything, be kind to Caroline Black.
We're going to present Autumn with a plaque, a $125 check. So she's going to take all her friends out for dinner tonight. And also the rules to enter her essay in the state contest. Now she has to expand it a little. We thought Autumn did a very good job as far as very precise and a lot of information in a short period. But the new essay requirement is that you write at least 500 words, so you're going to have to expand it a little. And we're looking forward to Oley being represented at the state level, and we know Autumn will do us a good job. So let's give all these winners another round of applause. We're going to get them back up here after the program. program to take pictures. And with that, I'll turn it back.
This time we'll begin the acknowledgement of each veteran. I'll ask that our 8th grade student council officers, Alex Sapanero, Matthew Shell, Erica Santana, Anna Liskey, and Kelly Nicholas, please come forward and present our veterans.
We are proud to celebrate the brave veterans who are here with us today. We will call each veteran by name and ask them to stand to be recognized. Please hold all of your applause until the final veteran's name has been called. Ronald P. Asplin, rank E4 of the United States Navy. Carl Brown, rank Sergeant E5 of the United States Army. Dr. Matthew Brodsky, rank Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. Rick Bueller, rank Sergeant of the United States Air Force. Kenneth C. Bungars Jr., rank Senior Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force. Josh Corbin, rank Staff Sergeant of the United States Air Force. Bruce Cronrath, rank Specialist 4th Class of the United States Army. Joseph Curry, rank Specialist of the United States Army. Toby Allen Curtis, rank Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. Jason Deisher, rank 2nd Class Petty Officer of the United States Navy. Jackie Dickinson, rank Staff Sergeant E5 of the United States Air Force. Colt Dillon, rank Corporal of the United States Army. Nicholas DeRosa Jr., rank Sergeant of the United States Army. Doug E. Moore, rank Staff Sergeant E5 of the United States Air Force. Jim Erwin, rank E4 of the United States Air Force. Along with Eileen Irwin of the United States Air Force. Michael Feimster, rank Specialist of the United States Army. Mel Begley, rank Sergeant of the United States Army. Jason Grimm, rank E4 of the United States Navy. Morris Haas, rank E4 of the Army National Guard. Terry Hassler, rank Staff Sergeant E6 of the United States Army. Carla Hummel, rank Captain of the United States Army. Stuart Kern, Colonel of the United States Army. H. Jesse Keel, rank E5 of the Army National Guard. Robert Kissinger, First Sergeant of the United States Army. Micah Kamara, a second class petty officer, E5 of the United States Navy.
William Lutz, Sergeant E5, United States Army. Kenneth Manwiller, Staff Sergeant of the United States Army. Timothy Markowski, Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. Charles Miller, Private First Class in the United States Army. Kyle Moyer, Specialist of the United States Army. Ron Muser, Gunnery Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. John Price, Specialist 4 of the United States Army. Jeffrey Raymer, E4 of the United States Air Force. Eric Reifsnyder, Corporal of the United States Marine Corps. Tommy Richardson, Corporal E4 of the United States Marine Corps. Heather Rothermel, Master Sergeant E7, United States Air Force. Gerald Rothermel, Sergeant E5 of the United States Army. Scott Schaefer, E2 of the United States Army. Daniel Schultz, Staff Sergeant E5 of the United States Air Force. Stu Snyder, E3 of the United States Navy. Ricky Vaquero, Hospital Foreman of the United States Navy. Wagner, Private First Class in the United States Army. Matt Wagner, E4 of the United States Marine Corps. Lee Wagner, Petty Officer, 2nd Class in the United States Navy. Caitlin Westerford, Specialist E4 of the United States Army. Rachel Wolf, Corporal E4 of the United States Marine Corps. Rochelle, sorry. Jeremiah Detweiler, Sergeant First Class in the United States Army. John Harrison, E4 of the United States Army. Nate Wolf, Corporal E4 of the U.S. Marine Corps. Our final veteran today is our principal, Dr. Rohr. Sergeant Scott Rohr served in the United States Army from 1988 until 1995, I'm so sorry. His job included operating an M1A1 tanker conducting military intelligence. His duty stations include Kentucky, Germany, and Fort Indiantown Gap.
Today we recognize you and we thank you for your service. Please join us in a warm round of applause celebrating all of our brave veterans.
What a morning. Again, thank you to our veterans. I would like to, with some final quick thoughts here to everyone, I want to thank Ms. Negrini. Did an outstanding job. We have a round of applause for Ms. Negrini. Our tech support to Mr. Daniels. We appreciate his help. Telling to see faces here that are veterans here today. They span generations. They've done so much service for our country, and the men in the front, and I'm sure many of the others, are still doing service for their country. That is significant. That's what this is all about. Share service. Think about what you can do beyond once you graduate, once you get your job. Those are all good endeavors, but think about what you can do for others. And these people in front of us exemplify that mantra. Simply to serve, serve, serve. It's hard when you think about the different generations of soldiers that went through, the welcomes they get when they come home. Some were very different. It wasn't like what you see today. Our Vietnam vets and so forth, it was a different homecoming that you had for them. But it's good to see the positive way we treat our veterans today, and I'm glad that we do that here at Oley. That is significant, that is important. They are great people. They've done so much service and so much for our country, and they deserve our respect. And one thing I want to add, I pray we do not forget those Americans that are in Afghanistan, and we are there to support them and be for them, that we continue to work for that, because those men and soldiers who serve there and have been there and what they've been through, the interpreters that helped us, we need to be their support. So please don't forget that we still have Americans in Afghanistan. Simply, the heroes, men and women here today did what they were asked to do and did it without hesitation. Some volunteered, some were drafted. Both fulfilled a promise to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So much should be said to you, so much should be done for you, but know that we thank you. Thank you again, everyone here, one last time for our veterans.